Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Yes, you found it. You are here. You are welcomed, all of you. Thank you for turning on this podcast. Oh, we're starting great. All right, today, July 9th, the words are, well, I'll just read you the first one, and then we'll get to the other ones. That's how this works. The first word is cilantro, cilantro. This is a noun from 1903. Leaves of coriander used as a flavoring or garnish. Also, the number one definition for the word coriander. We're not there yet. We haven't gotten there. We will learn what coriander is later. This is, it's a Spanish word, cilantro, which means coriander. From the Middle Latin caliandrum, which is an alternative of the Latin coriandrum. That doesn't help. And there's more at the word coriander. So why do some people think that cilantro tastes like soap? It's because their genes are different than the genes of the other people who don't think that cilantro tastes like soap. I don't think cilantro tastes like soap. I don't think it's one of my most favorite things, but it's weird how the bodies work. What is next? The next word is ciliary. Ciliary. Ciliary, adjective from 1691, one of, relating to, or being the annular suspension of the lens of the eye. I do not know what that is, but the lens of the eye is awesome. I just started reading this book called The Body by Bill Bryson. It's called The Body, A Guide for Occupants. I am an occupant of a body. So it's good to know about the body, and I just was reading the section about the eyes and sight and hearing and I mean, I know a lot about the body, but there's a lot of stuff that I don't know, like the names of things. The annular suspension of the lens. What is that? Anyway, number 2, of or relating to cilia. Next is ciliate or ciliate, noun from 1916, any of a phylum or subphylum of ciliated protozoans, as Paramecia. And the subphylum is Ciliophora. Ciliophora. Why are they called ciliates or Ciliophora? Ciliated protozoa. It's probably because, well, I don't know. Maybe the next word will help us. It is ciliated or ciliate or ciliate. Adjective from 1753. Possessing cilia. Now, I see what's happening. Okay, possessing cilia. That is the definition, as in ciliated epithelial cells. And ciliation is a noun. And what is the next word? It is cilium. And yes, the plural is cilia. That's why I was confused. I thought, well, did we skip the word cilia? No, it's because it's under cilium, the singular form. This is a noun from 1794. 1. I just saw something in the etymology that is very confusing. We'll get there. 1. A minute, short, hair-like process, often forming part of a fringe, especially one on a cell that is capable of lashing movement and serves, especially in free unicellular organisms, to produce locomotion, or in higher forms, a current of fluid. So they're little hairs that make stuff happen, usually make the thing go. So if we look back, the ciliated epithelial cells probably have little hairs in them that make them go around. The ciliated protozoans like Paramecia have little hairs that make them go. Maybe we'll find a picture of one of these that you can see under a microscope. And then, number 2, this number 2 definition for cilium is the synonym eyelash. So your eyelashes are cilia. Oh, you have such lovely cilia on your face. Have you curled your cilia today? All right, what does the etymology say? It's Latin for eyelid. Really? Akin to the Latin calare, which means to conceal. And there's more at the word hell. I don't understand what's going on. They're little hairs, but it means eyelid. All right. I mean, it obviously is connected to eyelash, but still, not really sure. All right. Next is cimetidine. Cimetidine, noun from 1975. A histamine analog, C10, H16, N6S, that inhibits gastric acid secretion and is used especially in the treatment of duodenal ulcers. Hope I never have to have this treatment. Next is Cimmerian. Capital Cimmerian. Cimmerian. It is the first form adjective from 1580. Very dark or gloomy. That is the definition, as in under ebon shades in dark Cimmerian desert ever dwell. That is a quote from John Milton. I don't understand what that means because I am not so smart with the literature, but it means very dark or gloomy, Cimmerian. But why does it have a capital C? Maybe the next form will help us. Second form of Cimmerian, noun from 1584. Any of a mythical people described by Homer as dwelling in a remote realm of mist and gloom. It's a Latin, Chimerae. It's a mythical people. From the Greek, chimeroi. So the mist and the gloom, the dark and gloomy. Yep, it all makes sense. Next is C. Capital C, the word in, and then another capital C. This is an abbreviation for Commander-in-Chief. Next is cinch. First form, noun from 1859. 1. A girth for a pack or saddle. 2. A tight grip. 3a. A thing done with ease. Oh, it was such a cinch to hold on to that cinch with my cinch grip. 3b. A certainty to happen. As in, it's a cinch he'll break the record. He's got it in the bag. He will do it with ease. This is from the Spanish word cincha, from Latin cingula, which means girdle or girth, from cingere, and there's more at the word cincture. That'll be the last word in this episode, cincture. Okay, next is the second form of cinch. It is a verb from 1866, starting with transitive. 1a, to put a cinch on. So that would probably be the pack or the saddle. I was going to say girdle. Number 1b, to fasten as a belt or strap. Oh, to fasten tightly. And the example is a belt or strap. 2, to make certain. Synonym is assure. As in, the goal that cinched the victory. It cinched it up into a little pack. I don't know. All right, now we have intransitive. It means to tighten the cinch, and that is often used with the word up. Cinch up. Let's cinch up this episode. We got a few more words. Next is cinchona. So we could say it a couple of ways. Cinchona or cinchona. 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 Noun from 1786. A 1786. Not the 1786, just a 1786. There's lots of different ones. 1. Any of a genus of South American trees and shrubs of the madder family, Madder. And number 2, the dried bark of a cinchona, containing alkaloids as quinine, and formerly used as a specific in malaria. What is a specific? It's not very specific. The genus name for the first one is cinchona, and the scientific name in number 2, the dried bark, is Cinchona legeriana. This is a genus name from the Countess of Cinchon. She was the wife of a Peruvian viceroy who died in 1641. She died in 1641. So how did this get named? This Countess of Cinchon. Why? How did this get named after her? Why? What happened there? Should we do more research on this? Maybe. I'll do a little bit. I can't do a whole lot. Just a little bit is fine. All right, next we have cinchonine. Cincanine or cinchanine, I think cincanine makes more sense. Noun from 1825, a bitter white crystalline alkaloid, C19, H22, N2O, found especially in cinchona bark and used like quinine. Or would it be quinine? I think it's quinine. That's all for that one. Next is synchronism or synchronism. But even though the CH is in there, I think it's better to say the K sound. Synchronism. Noun from 1857, a disorder due to excessive or prolonged use of cinchona or cinchona. Yeah, we say cinchona, or its alkaloids, and marked by temporary deafness. Oy, ringing in the ears, headache, dizziness, and rash. Wow. All right, next we have, this is not appropriate for today, but it is Cinco de Mayo. Would have been great to have that land on May 5th, but no, it landed on July 9th. This is a noun from 1931. It's kind of weird to call it a noun. I mean, it's a holiday. It's not an actual thing that exists in 3 dimensions. It's just a thing that we celebrate. Noun from 1931, a Mexican and Mexican-American celebration held on May 5th in commemoration of the Mexican victory over the French at Puebla in 1862. Haha, French, you got beat. But you got your own holiday, so that's fine. The Mexicans can celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Of course, the Americans take this to a whole other level, just like we do with all other holidays, like St. Patrick's Day. Everybody wants to get drunk and have tequila and margaritas and things like that. But, maybe you should realize it's celebrating their victory. This is Spanish, and it means 5th of May. If you didn't know that, I got nothing for that. All right, our last word is cincture, Cincture, noun from 1587. 1, the act of encircling. If you have encircled the globe, you have cinctured it, I guess. 2a, an encircling area. 2b, synonyms are girdle and belt, because the belt, it encircles your waisty area. So it is a cincture. And then, on that one especially, a cord or sash of cloth worn around in ecclesiastical vestment or the habit of a religious. Of a religious? Feel like there should be more to that sentence. But that's the end of it. What happened? The habit of a religious? A religious what? I know that the nuns wear habits. All right, what's the etymology got to say for me? From the Latin cinctura, which means girdle. From cinctus, from the verb cingere, which means to gird. Gird? Oh, I can't wait to get to that word. Because I'm sure it's related to girdle. If a girdle is the thing that cinches things up, probably that's what gird is. Probably akin to the Sanskrit kanski. I don't know how to say that word. I apologize. Kanci with some lines, and that means girdle. So that's what cincture is. So today we had cilantro, ciliary, ciliate, ciliated, cilium, cimetidine, Cimmerian, CNC, cinch, cinchona, cinconine, or cinconine actually, synchronism, Cinco de Mayo, and cincture. I'm very curious about this Cimmerian, the mythological people. I think I want to go look them up. But I think I'm going to pick cilium as the word of the episode because they are so silly. Those eyelashes are so silly. And they're just like little hairs. I think that's really just what it means. So yeah, you can see pictures. Like I said, I'll post a picture in a few weeks of little protozoans with the little hairs under the microscope. Oh, maybe we'll find a video. Nah, that's too much work. But you can find videos and you can watch them move around. What are the holidays for today? We'll save those for the fun holidays, I guess. In Latvia, Sea Festival starts. That's CEA, the water, the lake, the pond, the ocean, whatever it is. The Sea Festival. In Argentina, it is Independence Day. In Chile, it is National Flag Day. In Cambodia, it is Arbor Day. In Australia and Palau, it is Constitution Day. In Sao Paulo, it is Constitutionalist Revolution Day. In Azerbaijan, it is Day of the Employees of the Diplomatic Service. It's the earliest day on which martyrdom of the Bab can fall, which is in Baha'i. Independence Day also in South Sudan. And the holidays, the fun holidays. I don't want that page. Come on, close. It is, I don't know how to pronounce it, Nunavut Day or Nunavut or Nunavut? No. Let's see. This is the day the Parliament of Canada passed the Nunavut Act. Along with the Nunavut Land Claims Agreement, it officially declared Nunavut as a distinct region that is legally separated from the Northwest Territories. So it's a Canadian region. And then also it is National Sugar Cookie Day. Oh yeah. Today I just listened to the episode. What is today? June 12th. Peanut Butter Cookie Day. I really want some peanut butter cookies and sugar cookies, because they are cookies. And you can't go wrong with cookies. Oh, I don't think I sang a song about the psyllium. I'm going to sing a song about the psyllium. This is my song about the psyllium. All right, we're going to end that there. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer's Demented Innovation Man. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Let's see. What do I got to say? This is a very movie-related episode. If I had planned ahead, I probably could have gotten somebody to join me to be a guest, but I didn't. I didn't do that. That's okay. Today is July 10th. The first word is cinder, Cinder, noun from before the 12th century. 1. The slag from a metal furnace. Yep, that is the cinder. And then the synonym, I've never seen this word, dross, Dross. 2A is plural, cinders. The synonym is ashes. Cinders, cinders, we all fall down. 2B, a fragment of ash. 3A, a partly burned combustible in which fire is extinct. 3B, a hot coal without flame. I love looking at those cinders at the very bottom of the fire. Those just the pieces of wood or coal or whatever it is, they're just glowing. Oh, I don't know why, but that is so cool. Where were we? 3C, I think. A partly burned coal capable of further burning without flame. 4. A fragment of lava from an erupting volcano. And cindery is an adjective. This is from the Middle English word cinder with an S from Old English, akin to the Old High German cintar, which means dross or slag, from the Serbian and Croatian cedra, which means calcium carbonate or carbonate. Next is cinder block, 2 words, noun from 1926, a hollow rectangular building block made of cement and coal cinders. Yeah, when I got to this just now, I was like, well, why is it called a cinder block? Because they got some coal cinders in there. Why? What was the reason to put coal cinders in there? Is it just so they could call it a cinder block? Was there a specific reason that the cement didn't hold and they needed to put the cinders in there to keep it all together? Why? There must be some good reason. But why couldn't they call it a cement block? Or a cement and cinder block? They went with cinder block. And then we just know it as cinder block, and we don't think about it. It's just there. It just exists in our English language. But there's a reason why it's called a cinder block. What's this one? It's cinder cone, noun from 1849, a conical hill formed by the accumulation of volcanic debris around a vent. It's a cone, and it's made of the cinders of the volcano. Next is Cinderella. Yeah, Cinderella's in the book. Noun from 1840. One resembling the fairy tale Cinderella as A, one suffering undeserved neglect. Nobody deserves neglect. And then B, one suddenly lifted from obscurity to honor or significance. So, but can it be both? I mean, Cinderella was both, right? She suffered undeserved neglect, but then she was lifted from obscurity to honor or significance. Cinderella is also an adjective. Let's see. The etymology. I think we all know where this is from. After the name Cinderella, it's a fairy tale heroine who is used as a drudge by her stepmother, but ends up married to a prince. Oh, that's just the fairy tale ending that we all want. When I was a kid, I have gotten past this, but when I was a kid, at least for like, I don't know, a short period of time, maybe 4th grade, 5th grade, some kids called me Spencerella. And, you know, when you're a kid and you're a boy and somebody basically is calling you a girl, that's very disturbing and frustrating and traumatic. Yeah, that happened. Next, we have the word cine. C-I-N-E. I mean, it looks like the word sign, but no, it's cine. Noun from 1920. We have the synonym motion picture. And this is probably from the French word ciné or ciné, which is short for cinema, which means cinema. Yeah, all the rest of the words are movie related or close to it. Next is cineast. Cineast or cineast. Cinea, you could spell it with an E at the end. You could also put an accent on the E at the beginning. Cineast. This is a noun from 1926, a devotee of motion pictures. Also the synonym movie maker. I guess I would sort of be called a cineast, but not as much as a lot of people. Like Quentin Tarantino, he is a cineast. He is that's like all he does. Watch movies, make movies. I really like movies, but maybe I'm not to that level. This is from French, cinéaste. Yep, that's about it. Next is cinema. Cinema. Yeah, cinema. Noun from 1909. 1A. The synonym is motion picture, and this is usually used attributively. 1B. A motion picture theater, or some people like to say theater. A motion picture theater. It plays cinema. 2A. The synonym is movies, especially the film industry. 2B. The art or technique of making motion pictures. It's just the movie world. And then this is short for cinematograph. We will get to that later this episode. Next is cinema goer, one word, noun from 1920, and it's just the synonym moviegoer. Next is cinematheque. Cinematheque, but the end of the word is spelled T-H-E-Q-U-E. Cinematheque, noun from 1966, a small movie house specializing in avant-garde films. I want to go to a cinematheque. This is a French word. It means film library. Yep, there's that. Next we have cinematic. Oh, it is so cinematic. Adjective from 1916. One of, relating to, suggestive of, or suitable for motion pictures or the filming of motion pictures, as in cinematic principles and techniques. 2. Filmed and presented as a motion picture, as in cinematic fantasies. Cinematically is an adverb. I think also, I don't know if this was encompassing in the definitions that I just read, but you can make a commercial or something very cinematic by the lighting that you use and the lens and the camera that you use, and you can make it look very cinematic. If you make it look cinematic, it looks like a movie. But typically, commercials or certain things don't usually look like movies, but you can make them look like that. Okay, next is cinematize. Verb from 1916. It's just transitive. To make a motion picture of. And then the example of what you are making a motion picture of is a novel. You are cinematizing it. And then there's a little bit more. It says adapt for motion pictures. Many things have been cinematized. Novels and comic books and, even emojis have been cinematized. Next is cinematograph. It's a very long word to say, so we just shortened it to cinema. This is a noun from 1896. Oh, it is chiefly British. It is a motion picture camera, projector, theater, or show. So any part of the cinema world is considered cinematograph. Let's see. Any etymology that is particularly interesting from Greek kinemat or kinema, which means movement, which is from kinin or kinin, which means to move. Yeah, I mean, that's basically where we get the word from. This thing moves. They were able to make photos, but then they were able to make a move. And they said, well, there's a Greek word that means to move, so let's bring that into our word. That you can thank the Greeks for most of our words. Next, we have cinematographer. Noun from 1897. A specialist in cinematography. They are very important to make the movie or the thing look good, or make it look the way it's going to look. It doesn't have to look good. They're just going to make it look that way. Next is cinematography. Noun from 1897. The art or science of motion picture photography. Cinematographic is an adjective, and cinematographically is an adverb. I love those long words. Yes, this is a very special skill. I have a friend who actually went to school and he studied cinematography. He hasn't gotten to use it really for a long time, but so I would like to get him back into that. Yeah, it's a skill. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I've learned a lot over the years, so it's good to learn. We are on a last word. I think this is also, well, it's almost our last movie-related word. There will be a couple more in the next episode, but this is the last big one. Cinema verite. 2 words. Cinema is cinema, and then the next word is verite with an accent on the last E that goes down on the left side and up on the right side. Cinema, I guess with the accent you have to say cinema verite. You could also just say cinema verite. Noun from 1963, the art or technique of filming a motion picture so as to convey candid realism. Yeah, I think verite. Oh, well, let's read the etymology. This is from cinema verite in French, which literally means cinema truth. It is a translation of the Russian kino pravda. Kino pravda. Yeah, it's very realistic movies. That's sort of what I know. I don't really know a lot about this, but I do appreciate that. As you get with this podcast, there's no editing. It's just, this is podcast verite. I don't know. But yes, I really like that when things can be made more realistic and true. But I also love the fantasy and the non-real. So the words today were cinder, cinder block, cinder cone, Cinderella, cine, cineast, cinema, cinema goer, cinematek, cinematic, cinematize, cinematograph, cinematographer, cinematography, and cinema verite. This is very, very, very difficult to pick a word of the episode. Oh, man. Why did I give myself this job? I mean, I think the thing that makes the most sense would probably be to just pick cinematograph, because it is the just all-encompassing word for cinema stuff. Because it says right there, motion picture, camera, projector, theater, or show. And, the movie world has been very important to me. If you love burning things, then you might pick cinder. You can pick cinder as your word of the episode. If you do want to pick a word of the episode, you can email me at dictionarypod@gmail.com. And you just let me know what you like. That's fine. I want to know what you think. We can make this kind of interactive. Yeah, so I'll just pick cinematograph. 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 That is the word of the episode. It is cinematograph. I don't know what that was. Yep. That's some good stuff there. So, what do we got? I guess maybe we can save that for the fun holidays. In Mauritania, it is Armed Forces Day. In the Bahamas, it is Independence Day. It is Nikola Tesla Day. Was this the day he was born? Probably. Yes, his birthday, July 10th. That dude was fascinating. What else? It is Statehood Day in Wyoming. And the fun holidays today, yes, July 10th, National Pina Colada Day. If you like pina coladas, you can have some to drink. Then drink up all the panini. I should have stopped when I was behind. It is also National Kitten Day. Can we just think about that one? National Kitten Day. I feel like every day on the internet is National Kitten Day. We also have a week that is starting today. Here we go. National Donut Week. Recently, it was National Donut Day. I unfortunately was not able to get a donut. Like I said, I was definitely going to get a donut. I did not get a donut. I was going to try and get a donut the next day. Did not get a donut the next day. It's very disappointing, but we have National Donut Week coming up. So, if I can get a donut one day in that week, I will be happy. All right, we're going to end the episode there. Thank you for listening. Until next time, this is Spencer, dispensing all of this information. Adieu. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I am feeling very relaxed. We went on a walk. I had a haircut and a beard cut. And I'm looking so much more cleaned up than I have for a long, long time. Hey, would you like to review this podcast? Yes, I think you would. You shall review this podcast. I am waving my hand like a Jedi. You can give me 5 stars on whatever platform you like, and then you can say what you think about this. If you want to send me an email, you can do that at dictionarypod@gmail.com. If you want to say hello on social media, Twitter, Instagram, it's at dictionarypod. Do I have a TikTok? I do not. I wouldn't even know what to do, so I'm not there. Let's talk about the words. The first word is cineole. Cineole, Cineole. Noun from 1885. The synonym is eucalyptol. It's like the tree, eucalyptus, but it's eucalyptol. Eucalyptol. This is it's by transposition from the New Latin oleum cinnae, which means worm seed oil. Eucalyptol cineole. Oh, I have a sneeze. It's gonna sneeze, maybe not. Let's see. All right, we'll just move on. Next is cinephile. Noun from 1968. It is Cinephile. It is a devotee of motion pictures, and that would be similar to the one that we had in the last episode, cineast. Usually you hear cinephile. Next is cineplex with a capital C. It is a service mark, and it is used for a movie theater containing several auditoriums in one building. Let's go to the Cineplex. We're going to watch some movies because we are cinephiles. Next is cineraria. It's spelled like it sounds. Noun from 1597. Any of several garden or potted plants derived from a perennial senecio of the Canary Islands and having heart-shaped leaves and clusters of bright flower heads. The scientific name is Senecio cruentus. Cruentus, yep. That is what that is. This is Latin, the feminine of cinerarius, which means of ashes, from the prefix ciner or kiner, or the word kinis, which means ashes, and there's more at the word incinerate. So why is this plant, why is it related to incineration and ashes? Does it look like it's been burned? Do the flowers, the petals look like ashes? What is going on? Let's find a picture and post the cineraria. But it is interesting that it is very clearly related to the word incinerate. All right, next we have, maybe this is related, cinerarium. This is a noun from 1880, a place to receive the ashes of the cremated dead. And cinerary is an adjective. Next is cinereous. Cinereous, adjective from 1661. 1. Gray tinged with black. So it's gray tinged with black. It's cinereous. Cinereous. Number 2. Resembling or consisting of ashes. Next is singulum. It's almost like the singular. No. Singulum with a C. Noun from 1845. An anatomical band or encircling ridge. And singulate is an adjective. This is a Latin word which means girdle. What do we have? We had that last episode. Yep, we had some stuff related to this one in the 2 episodes ago, sorry. Girdle from singere to gird, and there's more at the word cincture. Next is cinnabar, noun from the 14th century. I feel like it should be a bar where you can get lots of different types of cinnamon. It is not. Number 1, artificial red mercuric sulfide used especially as a pigment. 2, a red mineral consisting of native mercuric sulfide, HGS, that is the only important ore of mercury. 3, a deep, vivid red. Cinnabarine or cinnabarin, that is an adjective. The etymology says this is from Middle English cinnabar, from the Anglo-French cinopre, from the Latin cinnabaris, from the Greek cinnabari, of non-IE. What is IE? Is that like Irish English? IE, no, Indo-European. So what does it say? Non-Indo-European origin, akin to the Arabic zinjafar or zinjafar. That means cinnabar. That's where we get the name cinnabar from. Next is cinnabar moth. 2 words, noun from circa 1893. I have a feeling I'm going to want to post a picture of this. Let's see what it says. A European moth that has been introduced into the western U.S. in attempts to control the tansy ragwort on which its larvae feed, called also just cinnabar. And the scientific name is Tyria jacobii. Let's see. What is the tansy ragwort? Sounds like a made-up name. It is a made-up name because all names and things and words are made up. But maybe it looks like this deep, vivid red. Ooh, can't wait to see it. Next is cinnamic acid. Or is it cinnamic acid? Doesn't matter. It's 2 words. Noun from circa 1864. A white, crystalline, odorless acid, C9H8O2, found especially in cinnamon oil and storax. Storax. This is from French cinnamique, which means of cinnamon. From cinnamon. That is our next word, cinnamon, noun from just the 14th century. Now I'm getting tempted to say the word cinnamon backwards. Maybe we'll try that later. 1A, any of several Asian trees of the laurel family, and the genus is cinnamomum. I'm not making this up. Cinnamomum. 1B, an aromatic spice prepared from the dried inner bark of a cinnamon, also just the bark. But especially, we have the scientific name Cinnamomum zeylanicum. And number 2, a light yellowish brown. I would not call it yellowish, but I guess it could be. Maybe it is a little bit. I don't know. And then cinnamony. Cinnamony is an adjective. Maybe that sneeze is coming back. Let's see. Does the etymology have anything to say? We are also getting from Greek kinnamon from non-Indo-European origin, akin to the Hebrew kinnamon with a Q, and that means cinnamon. Let's see. What is cinnamon backwards? Cinnamon. Namanis. Cinnamon. Cinnamon. I think that's right. Next is cinnamon fern. 2 words, noun from 1818. A large fern with cinnamon-colored spore-bearing fronds, shorter than and separate from the green foliage fronds. The green foliage fronds. And the scientific name is Osmunda cinnamomea. That's kind of a fancy one. Osmunda cinnamomea. Next is cinnamon stone. 2 words, noun from 1805. And we have the synonym. Oh, I'm just putting cinnamon and synonym in my head. The synonym is essonite. Let's see. Cinnamon. Is there a synonym for synonym? No, a synonym for cinnamon. Next is cinquain or soncain. It is spelled cinquain, noun from 1882. It is a 5-line stanza. And why it is a 5-line? Why is it a 5-line stanza? It is French from cinq, C-I-N-Q, which means 5. Or actually, they would say cinq, right? Cinq, un, deux, trois, cinq. From Old French, from Latin, quinque. I think that's how they would say it in Latin, quinque. And there's more at the word 5. So I think the proper French way to say this would be a soncain. Soncain, yeah. If you write a poem that's got 5 lines, it is a soncain. Next is cinquecentist. 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 Noun from 1871. An Italian of the Cinquecento. I think that's how you say it, Cinquecento, especially a poet or artist of this period. And what is this period called the Cinquecento? It is a noun from 1760. The 16th century. Did my mouth say that correctly? No, I don't think it did. Let's try it again. The 16th century, especially in Italian art and literature. And the etymology says it is Italian, and it literally means 500 from the word cinque or cinque, which means 5. It's probably cinque, plus cento or cento, which means 100, from the Latin centum, and there's more at the word 100. And so, yes, the 16th century would be the 1500s, 1000 and 500, so that's where the 500 comes in. Cinquecento. And then the person who does art or literature during that time is a cinquecentist. Italian is hard but fun. So the words today were cineole, cinephile, cineplex, cineraria, cinerarium, cinereus, cingulum, cinnabar, cinnabar moth, cinnamic acid, cinnamon, cinnamon fern, cinnamon stone, soncain, cinquecentist, and cinquecento. Well, I guess I'll just pick the word cinnamon as the word of the episode. The other ones were good too, but cinnamon is good. Don't do the challenge. I'm not even going to say what it is because you shouldn't do it. And some people like to do things that they're told not to do. So just don't do it. People have died. That's what I should be saying. People have died, I think, from doing the cinnamon challenge. So just don't do it. It's not smart. I like some cinnamon in my stuff. It's a tasty, tasty thing. Cinnamon is a tasty, tasty thing. You can put it in all the stuff to make it tastier. Oh, I guess this is the time that we should talk about the holidays. It's 7-Eleven Day. Oh, because it's 7-Eleven. It is All-American Pet Photo Day. In Belgium, it is Day of the Flemish Community. In Chile, it is National Journalist Day. In China, it is China National Maritime Day. In Argentina, it is Day of the Bandoneon. In Northern Ireland, it is 11th night. Oh, well, so because it's 7-Eleven Day, it's Free Slurpee Day. You can get some water and sugar and ice. Water and sugar and ice. It makes everything nice, and that makes a Slurpee. Oh, man, every time I think of a Slurpee, I think of that Simpsons episode where they had an all-syrup squishy. Whoa, that's a good squishy. In Poland, it is National Day of Remembrance of Victims of Genocide by Ukrainian nationalists on citizens of the Second Republic of Poland. That is a very long name. In Kiribati, it is Gospel Day. In Ismailism, it is Imamat Day. In Ireland, it is National Day of Commemoration. In Mongolia, it is the first day of Nadam. And what are some fun holidays? They're so fun. It is Cheer Up the Lonely Day. If you're lonely, maybe this will cheer you up. Hello. Hi, lonely person. Cheer up. Let's see what else. National Mojito Day. If you like mojitos and you are lonely, have a mojito, and maybe it will cheer you up. It is also World Population Day. What is this? World Population Day on July 11th is a holiday that's dedicated to focusing on the importance of population issues. The day was established by the United Nations as a result of the massive interest people had in 5 billion day in 1987. That's probably the day that they estimated that we hit 5 billion, and now we're pushing 8 billion. Yeah. We got too many people. We just have too many people. We need less people. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Anyway, let's end the episode. We have finished page 223. What a momentous occasion. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Hey, it's the top of page 224. I just did a little math. The CI words, we're in the CI section. Those are only going to be about 16 episodes of CI words. But you want to guess? Maybe I should just, well, no, that's silly. The CH words, on the other hand, there's about 76 episodes of CH words. Come on, CI. Can we get some more CI words so we can even it out a little bit more? There's a lot of CH words. There's a lot of C words in general. The first word in this episode is cinquefoil or cinquefoil. I think cinquefoil is probably more appropriate. Cinquefoil. Is it something related to the number 5? It's a noun from the 14th century. 1. Any of a genus of herbs and shrubs of the rose family, usually having 5-lobed leaves and 5-petaled flowers. Called also potentilla or potentilla. Number 2, a design enclosed by 5 jointed foils. This is from Middle English. The word is cinquefoil. It's like the kitchen sink and foil. From Anglo-French, cinquefoil. From Latin, quinquefolium, which is quinque, which is 5, plus folium, which is leaf. And there's more at the word blade. Next is an abbreviation, CIO, all caps, Chief Information Officer. That is what that stands for. Next is Cioppino. Cioppino. It is spelled Cioppino. Cioppino, noun. From 1917, a stew of fish and shellfish, cooked usually with tomatoes, wine, spices, and herbs. And this is modified of Italian dialect in Liguria, and the word is just chupin, or something like that. We have another abbreviation, CIP. It stands for Cataloging in Publication, and the CIP is all caps. Next is cipher, first form noun from the 14th century, 1A. We have the number 1A definition for the word zero, cipher 0. 1B, one that has no weight, worth, or influence, and the synonym is non-entity. 2A, a method of transforming a text in order to conceal its meaning, and then compare to the 3B definition for the word code, CODE. Those are cool. 2B, a message in code. Number 3, the synonym is Arabic numeral. 4, a combination of symbolic letters, especially the interwoven initials of a name. Combination of symbolic letters. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's see. The etymology says it's from Middle Latin, sifra, from the Arabic sifr, which means empty, or cipher, or zero. The second form of cipher is a verb from circa 1530, starting with intransitive, to use figures in a mathematical process. And transitive, number 1, the synonym is encipher. If you are creating a cipher, you're enciphering it, I guess. Number 2, to compute arithmetically. That's like with arithmetic and math. Cipher. I like the cipher that's a code, and that is fun. I don't think I have anything else to say about that. Next is ciphertext. It's all one word, ciphertext. Noun from 1939, the enciphered form of a text or of its elements. Compare to the synonym plain text. Plain text and ciphertext. Next is ciprofloxacin or ciprofloxacin, CIPROFLOXACIN, noun from 1983, a synthetic broad-spectrum antibiotic, C17H18FN3O3, that is a fluorinated derivative of quinolone and is often administered in the form of its hydrochloride. That's good for that. We have an abbreviation, CIR. Number 1, circle or circular. Number 2, circuit. And 3, circumference. The next abbreviation is CIRC. 1, circular. 2, circulation. And let's add a 5th letter to this. It is circa. CIRCA. It is not an abbreviation. It is a preposition from 1861. At, in, or of, approximately. So it would be at, approximately, in, approximately, or of, approximately. And this is used especially with dates, as in born circa 1600. I say this word all the time in this podcast. Circa this year. And this is from Latin, the word circum, or circum, I think that would be that. That is, it's around. It means around. And there's more at the prefix circum, which we will get to. When are we going to get to that? 2 episodes from now. Let's see. I lost my place. There we go. I found my place. Next is circadian. Circadian, adjective from 1959, being, having, characterized by, or occurring in approximately 24-hour periods or cycles, as of biological activity or function, as in circadian rhythms in activity. What does the etymology say? From the Latin circa, or it's spelled circa, but I think they say circa, which means about, plus dies or dies, D-I-E-S, which means day. There's more at the word deity, like the god, deity. So it's about a day. Circadian means it's about a day. And yeah, we all have these circadian rhythms. We have our own cycles. There's morning people and night people and other circadian rhythms. Moving on to circassian. I think that's how you would say it. Circassian. Capital C-I-R-C-A-S-S-I-A-N. Noun from 1555. 1. A member of a group of peoples of the northwestern Caucasus. Number 2. The language of the Circassian. Now, is that how we're saying it? Circassian? Yep. The language of the Circassian peoples. And Circassian is also an adjective. Next is Circassian walnut. 2 words. Capital C, noun from 1914. The light brown, irregularly black-veined wood of the English walnut, much used for veneer and cabinet work. And it probably looks very cool. Next is Circe. Circe. Capital C-I-R-C-E. This is not Circe from Game of Thrones. This is something else. What is it? It's a noun from the 14th century. A sorceress who changes Odysseus's men into swine, but is forced by Odysseus to change them back. He said, "Hey, can you change my dudes back to people? 'Cause I need them to not be pigs." And she said, "Okay, cool. Sounds great." Circe. And our last word for this episode is circinate. 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 Adjective from 1830. Synonyms are rounded and coiled, especially rolled in the form of a flat coil with the apex as a center, as in circinate fern fronds unfolding. And circinately is an adverb. This is from Latin circinatus, from the verb circinare, which means to round, from circinus, which means pair of compasses. And that is that. Oh, and then it's from the circus. I mean, it would probably be pronounced circus, but it looks like circus. And so a circus is round. I don't know. We'll learn more about circus someday in the future. Where is it? Oh my God. There's so many. There it is. I found it. July 17th, if you care. So the words today were cinquefoil, CIO, cipino, CIP, ciphertext, ciprofloxacin, CIR, CIRC, or circa, circadian, circassian walnut, circe, and circinate. Well, I like the ciphers, and I like the circadian. What else? Circa is good. It's very appropriate for this. I will pick Cipher as the word of the episode. One of the characters in the Matrix was called Cipher. I think he was the bad guy. He wasn't so nice to the good people, but good and bad, it's all relative. And then yeah, I don't know, ciphers, puzzles, those are always fun. How do you sing a song about a cipher? You can... I don't know. I don't really feel like it. What are the holidays? In Canada, it is Orangeman's Day. In the UK, it is Battle of the Boyne, which also says Orangeman's. In Mexico, it is National Lawyer Day. In India, it is Rath Yatra. In Chile, it is Tirana Festival. In Tonga, it is birthday of the heir of the crown of Tonga. It's Independence Day in Kiribati. It's also Independence Day in Sao Tome and Principe. It is the second day of Nadam in Mongolia. In Northern Ireland, Scotland, Newfoundland, and Labrador, it is the 12th, which is also known as Orangeman's Day. What is this Orangeman's Day? What are the fun holidays? It's Orangeman's Day. Maybe we should click on the link and we can give you more information. This page is screwed up. I don't know, something about Catholic King James II. What other fun holidays? National Simplicity Day. Have you heard of the acronym KISS? KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. So just keep it simple. National Eat Your Jello Day. National Different Colored Eyes Day. If you have different colored eyes, I think that's pretty cool. And today is the day to celebrate you. It is also National Pecan Pie Day. Pecan? What do you say? Pecan pie. Pecan pie is so good. I would be proud to partake of your pecan pie. Pecan pie. Let's end the episode. Thank you very much for listening to me. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. It's the theme song time. It's the theme for the Dictionary Podcast. Yeah. The first word in this episode is circle. CIRCLE, first form. This is a noun from the 14th century. 1A. The synonyms are ring and halo. 1B. A closed plane curve, every point of which is equidistant from a fixed point within the curve. That is a circle. 1C. The plane surface bounded by such a curve. Number 2 is archaic. The orbit of a celestial body. That's talking about the planets and the things out there in space. And it is archaic because they're not circles. They're ovals. There's a better name for that. It's an oval. Number 3, something in the form of a circle or section of a circle. As 3A, the synonym diadem, diadem. 3B, an instrument of astronomical observation by the graduated limb of which consists an entire circle. 3C, a balcony or tier of seats in a theater. Why do they call that a circle? There's like the mezzanine and the balcony. What's the circle? Why is it called a circle? 3D, a circle formed on the surface of a sphere by the intersection of a plane that passes through it. You put a thing through a sphere at all the different levels, and you're going to get a whole bunch of different circles. As in, circle of latitude. 3E, we have the number 2 definition for the word rotary. 4, an area of action or influence. Synonym is realm. That's my realm. It's the part that I oversee. It's a circle. 5A, the synonyms are cycle and round, as in the wheel has come full circle. Full circle, full round, full cycle. 5B, fallacious reasoning in which something to be demonstrated is covertly assumed. 6, a group of persons sharing a common interest or revolving about a common center, as in the sewing circle of her church. Also as in family circle. Also as in, again, the gossip of court circles. I'm not a part of any circle. 7, I'm part of lots of circles. 7, a territorial or administrative division or district. And 8, a curving side street. What does the etymology say? It is from Middle English cercle, or circle with an E instead of an I, from the Latin circulus. It's the diminutive of circus, which looks like circus, which means circle or circus. So I think that's where we get the word circus. Akin to the Greek krikos or kirkos, which means ring, akin to the Old English hring, H-R-I-N-G, and that means ring. Hring! And there's more at the word ring. Now we have the second form of circle. It is a verb from the 14th century. Transitive is first. 1, to enclose in or as if in a circle. I can see the things circling around me. No. Number 2, to move or revolve around, as in satellites circling the Earth. Now we have intransitive. 1A, to move in or as if in a circle. 1B, the synonym is circulate. 2, to describe or extend in a circle. And circular is a noun. I feel like that should say circular, but no, it's the circular. It's the thing that is doing the circling. That sounds very weird now. That is another odd name for a superhero. I am the circler. Okay, next is circle graph, noun from 1928. The synonym is pie chart. That's what we know those as. They don't call them circled graphs. Next is circlet, noun from the 15th century. A little circle, especially a circular ornament. It's just a little circle. Now we have the word circuit, C-I-R-C-U-I-T. It's not necessarily pronounced like it's spelled, unless you're familiar with the word. This is the first form noun from the 14th century. Just like the word circle, there's a bunch of definitions. 1A, a usually circular line encompassing an area. It's like a Mario Kart. I think of that. It's the circuit that goes around the things. 1B, the space enclosed within such a line. 2A, a course around a periphery. 2B, a circuitous or indirect route. 3A, a regular tour let's skip the parentheses. A regular tour around an assigned district or territory. And the example of this tour is by a traveling judge or preacher. It's doing the circuits of all the districts and the territories. 3B, the route traveled, probably by that person. 3C, a group of church congregations ministered to by one pastor. 4A, the complete path of an electric current, including usually the source of electric energy. 4B, An assemblage of electronic elements, and the synonym is hookup. 4C, a two-way communication path between points. That's the end of that sentence, but then the example would be in a computer. 4D, a neuronal pathway. It's like the pathway that the neurons travel, a neuronal pathway of the brain along which electrical and chemical signals travel. 5A, an association of similar groups, and the synonym is league. 5B, a number or series of public outlets offering the same kind of presentation, and the examples of these outlets would be theaters, radio shows, or arenas. I feel like I should say radio shows. And then 5C, a number of similar social gatherings, as in the cocktail circuit. Circuital. Circuital, that's an adjective. The etymology says it's from the Latin circuitus, from circumere or cuquire, which means to go around. That is from circum plus ire, which means to go, and there's more at the word issue. Now we have the second form of circuit. It is a verb from the 15th century. There's just two definitions. First is transitive, to make a circuit board. No, to make a circuit about. The word board was right below that. And then intransitive says to make a circuit. Next is circuit board, 2 words, noun from 1948. We have the number 9 definition for the word board. Next is circuit breaker, 2 words, noun from 1872, a switch that automatically interrupts the current of an overloaded electric circuit. There's a couple of different kinds of circuit breakers. Luckily, I've got the one where it just has an on and an off, and if the circuit blows, which it does sometimes because the electricity in my building is all messed up, you just hit the thing, and it literally says on or off, and it goes to off, and you hit it on, and it's good to go, and you don't want to blow the circuit. But some of them, the old ones, you got to actually change the fuse, and luckily I never had to do that. That seems like a lot more work. Next is circuit court, 2 words, noun from 1708. A court that sits at 2 or more places within one judicial district. Next is circuit judge, 2 words, noun from 1801. A judge who holds a circuit court. Next is circuitous. Circuitous, adjective from 1664. 1. Having a circular or winding course, as in a circuitous route. It's like the post person has a route that they go, but it's circuitous. It goes all along that way, but then it goes that way, and then it goes this other way. Number 2, not being forthright or direct in language or action, as in a circuitous explanation. Circuitously is an adverb, and circuitousness is a noun. Next is circuit rider, 2 words. It's like a bike rider, but they're riding on a circuit. Noun from 1837. I guess electricity could be a circuit rider. A clergyman assigned to a circuit, especially in a rural area. Next is circuitry. Noun from 1946. 1. The detailed plan or arrangement of an electric circuit. Number 2. The components of an electric circuit. 3. The network of interconnected neurons in the nervous system and especially the brain. Also, the 4D definition for the word circuit, which was a neuronal pathway of the brain along which electrical and chemical signals travel. And then our last word is circuity. Yeah, circuity. circuity. Noun from circa 1626. Lack of straightforwardness, and the synonym is indirection. Indirection, circuity. So the words today were circle, circle graph, circlet, circuit, circuit board, circuit breaker, circuit court, circuit judge, circuitous, circuit rider, circuitry, and circuity. They're very similar. Well, I guess I'll just pick circuit as the word of the episode, which, as usual, sounds very strange right now. But specifically, I like the brain one. You've got all these circuits in your brain that the neurons are going through, and I've said this before, but you got to work on your brain. You got to do new things to create new pathways in your brain, new circuits. I don't know. I think that's good and smart to do. The circuitry of the circuits in my brain has some stuff going on. There's some neurons and they're circuit riders. Okay, today the holidays are. It is the Feast of Kalimat, which is Baha'i. In Montenegro, it is Statehood Day. In Mongolia, it's the last day of Nadam. In Pakistan, it is Kashmir Martyrs Day. And then, we're actually already at our fun holidays. It is Cow Appreciation Day. I really, really hope this does not say that you need to eat them. Oh, does it? Cow Appreciation? Yeah, nope. Please don't celebrate that. I disapprove of that. It is, but I do approve of this one, National French Fry Day. Yeah, we could use some very unhealthy French fries. Those are great. And then, lastly, I also support this. It is Embrace Your Geekness Day. So whatever you are geeky about, embrace it fully today if you are not already fully embracing it. Oh, by the way, I missed a week. We got a week. 2 days ago on July 11th started Shark Week. Yes. Shark Week is back. I have such fond memories of videotaping everything. I would schedule my VCR to record it because I was going to miss some of them. And oh yeah, Shark Week is great. Sharks are awesome. Yeah, I think that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to this podcast. It's called The Dictionary, and this is the place where you come to get all of your information about the things in the English language, and sometimes they're from other languages, and it's a good learning thing. Last night, my wife and I watched In the Heights, and it is very good, and I recommend that you all go watch it. I'm just very impressed by everybody who was involved in making that movie. Obviously, the music is amazing, the lyrics and the music and the singing and the dancing and the acting and the visuals. It was very, very well done, so you got to go watch it. Let's see. The first word in this episode is circular. CIRCULAR. First form, adjective from the 15th century. 1A, having the form of a circle. Synonym is round, as in a circular orbit. 1B, moving in or describing a circle or spiral, as in a circular staircase. I usually just call them spiral staircase. I know some people don't really like those, but I think they're fun. 2A, of or relating to a circle or its mathematical properties, as in a circular arc. And if you extend that arc out all the way, it's going to come back and meet itself on the butt end, and it will become a circle. What are we on? 2B, having a circular base or bases, as in a circular cylinder. Isn't that what a cylinder is? Like, what other kind of cylinder is there that doesn't have a circular base? Number 3, the synonyms are circuitous and indirect. 4, marked by or moving in a cycle. Everything is a cycle. 5, being or involving reasoning that uses in the argument or proof a conclusion to be proved or one of its unproved consequences. I'm not sure I understood that, but I think it's easier to understand than what just was said. Number 6, intended for circulation, as in a circular letter. Circularity is a noun, circularly is an adverb, and circularness is a noun. Now we have the second form of circular, noun from 1789, a paper intended for wide distribution, and the example is a leaflet. It's a circular. Next is circular. Now, how would you say this word? Dichroism or dichroism? It's spelled Dichroism. It's 2 words, noun from circa 1961. Number 1, the property of unequal absorption of right and left plane polarized light so that the emergent light is elliptically polarized. I know, that's what I thought too. Number 2, a spectroscopic technique that makes use of a circular dichroism. I still don't know how to say that word. By the way, the example of the property in the first definition is an optically active medium. Well, when we get to the D's, we'll learn about that word. Next is circular file, 2 words, noun from 1967, and the synonym is just wastebasket. It's a circular file? Is this like a slang thing? I don't understand that. Circular file? I mean, wastebasket, garbage baskets, trash baskets, they're usually circular, I guess, or like, that's what I think of, just a little circular garbage bin. But why is it called a circular file? Are you filing away things? No. Next is circular function, noun from 1884, and the synonym is trigonometric function. Trigonometric function. Because trigonometry a lot of the times has to do with circles and angles, so yeah, that makes sense. Next is circularize with an S-E. This is the British variation of circularize with a Z-E, which is our next word. It is a verb from 1848. Looks to be just transitive. 1A, to send circulars to. So would those be like the leaflet things? That could be a circular. There could be other circulars. What else? Where are we? 1B, to poll by questionnaire. You're taking a poll, and it's a questionnaire, and you are circularizing. Number 2, the synonym is publicize. 3, to make circular, and circularization is a noun. Next is circular saw, noun from 1817. I bet if somebody from the, 1800s or possibly even the early 1900s. No, wait, actually, I could tell you more. It's from 1817, so anybody from before that time, if they saw like an electronic circular saw, it would blow their mind. Like, how did you make that thing? We just have these big saws that we use that take forever. All right, anyway, a power saw with a circular cutting blade. Also, the blade itself is a circular saw. I want to see a picture of the original power saw from 1817. What did that look like? Was it like gasoline powered? How did that work? I want to see that. All right, next is circulate, verb from 1603, starting with intransitive. 1, to move in a circle, circuit, or orbit, especially to follow a course that returns to the starting point, as in blood circulates through the body. Number 2, to pass from person to person or place to place, as 2A, to flow without obstruction, and 2B, why did I say and? You got yourself in trouble there, Spencer. 2B, to become well-known or widespread, as in rumors circulated through the town. 2C, to go from group to group at a social gathering. I'm not very good at that. I usually just stick with one group because I'm not good at, talking to strangers and making small talk. But, I'm trying to get better at that. 2D, to come into the hands of readers, specifically to become sold or distributed. And we have one definition for transitive, to cause to circulate. Circulatable is an adjective, circulative is also an adjective, and circulator is a noun. We can skip the etymology. Next is circulating decimal, 2 words, noun from 1768. The synonym is repeating decimal. Now, would that be like if you have like a third, it's 3 point or whatever 0.33333, 3 repeating. Is that considered a repeating decimal? A circulating decimal? I'm not entirely sure. That doesn't sound right to me, but it probably is right. Next is circulation. Circulation, noun from 1535. 1, orderly movement through a circuit, especially the movement of blood through the vessels of the body induced by the pumping action of the heart. You need the circulation. You need the heart to be strong so it can circulate through your body. You got to get some cardio to keep the heart strong enough. And you gotta move. You can't be sitting still. Otherwise, the circulation ain't going to work. If you sit for too long, the circulation stops going to your legs, and that's not good. Number 2, the synonym is flow. 3A, passage or transmission from person to person or place to place, especially the interchange of currency, as in coins in circulation. But wash your hands when you're done with them. 3B, the extent of dissemination. Is that the word dissemination? Yep. As, we have more. We have 3B1, the average number of copies of a publication sold over a given period. And 3B2, the total number of items borrowed from a library. When I was a kid, we would go to the library, and my mom would let me get 10 books, 10 kids' books. And, they were short, so, 10 you'd go pretty quick, but I just remember leaving that place with a stack of books. It was so cool. That's it for that one. Now we have circulatory. Circulatory, adjective from 1605, of or relating to circulation or the circulatory system, as in circulatory failure. You do not want circulatory failure. That's why I got to keep on moving around. Next. Circulatory system is next. 2 words, noun from 1862. The system of blood vessels, lymphatics, and heart concerned with the circulation of the blood and lymph. I was very concerned with that stuff. I went to that bodies exhibit at the museum many years ago. You can find pictures. I'll post a picture of this, but they were able to take the entire circulatory system out of a body in one big clump. So it's like the heart and all the vessels and capillaries and arteries and veins and everything, and they have it laid out in the shape of the body, and it's staggering. So yeah, if you want to see that, you can check my social media in a few weeks probably. And then the last word in this episode is a prefix. It is circum, circum. This is going to be the prefix for a bunch of words. Wow, how long does this prefix go? It goes through the next episode and the one after that and most of the one after that. Okay, circum, it just means around or about, as in circumpolar. And this is from the Latin circus, which means circle, and there's more at the word circle. Yep, we already read that one. So, the words today were circular, dichroism, dichroism, circular file, circular function, circularize, circular saw, circulate, circulating decimal, circulation, circulatory system, and circum. I think I'm going to pick circular file as the word of the episode because it means a wastebasket, and I thought that was kind of funny. I'm doing some writing, and I don't like what I'm writing, so I'm going to crumple up the paper and put it in the circular file. That's good for that. Let's talk about the holidays. It's Bastille Day in France and its dependencies. It is Republic Day in Iraq. In Sweden, it is Victoria Day. It's the birthday of Crown Princess Victoria. It's official flag flying day in Sweden. And then I think we've got some fun holidays. Oh, why is this one not on the fun holiday list? I mean, I don't know how fun it is exactly, but it's a really good one to celebrate. I'm sure this is very new. It's International Non-Binary Peoples Day. So, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that is not something that any of us would have expected would be a phrase, a thing to be celebrating. But absolutely, I'm so grateful that we're at a place where people like that are being celebrated and recognized. Some other holidays, some more fun holidays, National Tape Measure Day. So if you don't have a tape measure, go out and get a tape measure, and then when you get one, you can go out and just measure a bunch of stuff and see how long they are. It's Pandemonium Day. Why is it Pandemonium Day? And why is the programming of this page all messed up? Because this is covering that, and that makes it hard to read. It's a celebration of bedlam and chaos. Often our normal lives take on a 180-degree turn for the worse with unpredictable disruption and chaos, but today we revel in the craziness of life and adopt a different perspective of the upheavals of life. I think this is good. You know, what they said, the internet is exactly correct. There's always something that's going to throw life, give you a curveball, and throw things upside down, and you gotta be able to handle them. And so, yeah, maybe this is good practice. It's not like something is going to happen to you today. It might. Who knows? Probably won't. But you do need to be aware that it could. So be prepared and don't. I don't know. Just go with the flow, man. It's gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine. It's gonna work out in the end. Probably is gonna work out better than you think. That seems to be how it always goes. It is National Mac and Cheese Day. Ooh, yeah. I'm actually gonna have some mac and cheese, I think, tomorrow night. But this is still June, but I do have some other mac and cheese I can make, so I'm going to do that. And then finally, it is National Nude Day. Yes, you heard me. Nude. Naked. You can be nude, but don't do it in public unless you're allowed to, because then you might get arrested. I wonder if there are places who are, like, getting rid of that law on this one day. Probably not. Yeah, so have some mac and cheese while you're naked and measure things. Okay, we're going to end the episode at that moment. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Hello. I'm saying this again. Every few episodes I say this. If you want to email me, you can email me at dictionarypod@gmail.com. You can leave me a voicemail. There is a Google Voice number in the show notes. You can leave me a voicemail, and if I enjoy it in some way, I will play it in an episode. And social media, I post pictures, I say stupid things, just like this podcast, and that is at dictionarypod on Instagram and Twitter. And if you would be so kind, I would love it if you subscribed and also rated and reviewed this. We're almost at episode 900. When we get to episode 1000, you may not have access to the old episodes. So go subscribe. Okay, the first word in this episode is circumambient. 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 Adjective from 1633, being on all sides. The synonym is encompassing. Circumambiently is an adverb. This is, from the Latin verb circumambire, which means to surround in a circle. So what would that be? What would circumambient be? It was being on all sides. So if something is encompassing something else, I'm trying to think of a good, interesting, quick example, but I cannot. I mean, if I were to lay down and have this blanket all around me, it would be circumambiently. I would be in bed circumambulantly. Ambulancely. No. Next is circumambulate. This is a verb from 1606, just transitive. To circle on foot, especially ritualistically. So if you're walking around an area over and over again, especially if it's a ritual, that is, you are circumambulating. Circumambulation is a noun. That is from the Latin prefix circum plus ambulare, which means to walk. So you are walking around. Next is circumcenter, one word, noun from circa 1889. The point at which the perpendicular bisectors of the sides of a triangle intersect and which is equidistant from the three vertices. It is the center of all the things that are around it. Next is circumcircle. One word, noun from 1885. It seems sort of redundant, circumcircle, because the circum just means around and about. Around a circle? Let's find out. A circle which passes through all the vertices of a polygon as a triangle. There we go. It's got a polygon, and it could be a triangle, and then there's a circle that is created that goes through all of those points. And sometimes it's easy to do, and sometimes it's not, depending on the polygon. Some polygons you probably just can't make a circumcircle. Okay, the next couple of words are, well, it's an important thing to be aware of and discuss. So let's say them. The first one of these two is circumcise. CIRCUM. All the words are going to start that way. And then CISE. Verb from the 13th century. It is just transitive. 1. To cut off the foreskin of, parentheses, a male, or the prepuce of the prepuce of, and then in parentheses, a female. So the foreskin of a male or the prepuce of a female. I gotta be honest, I had to look up that word prepuce because our education system and our science is not good at making us aware of the female genitalia. We know way more about male genitalia than we do for women. So yeah, I skipped ahead. I had to look up prepuce. I wanted to make sure I pronounced it correctly. And I'll just read you the definition. It is, well, the synonym is foreskin, but then also a similar fold of skin investing the clitoris or the clitoris. Either one is fine. So yeah, it's circumcision is getting rid of that extra skin around that very sensitive part of the body. And, why does this happen? Why is it there? What's going on? People do this for whatever reasons. We'll get to a little bit more about that in the next word. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like it's probably there for a reason, but have we figured out what the reason is for both men and women? I don't know. I suspect it's more protective. I mean, it's probably protective on both. Yeah, that's probably it. It's for protection. It's for your protection and their protection. All right, let's just keep on going with this. Number 2, to cut off all or part of the external genitalia, and especially the clitoris and labia minora of. And then in parentheses, it's talking about a female. So I would assume that technically this number 2 definition would be for male and female, but it's really only the especially portion is just for a female. So yeah, why? This doesn't need to be happening. Well, I don't understand why this happens. Unless there's some medical reason, I'm not so sure about this one. Circumciser is a noun. Weird Al has this is going to take a turn, but trust me, it makes sense. He has a song called Hardware Store, and there's a very funny line in the middle of this really crazy section where he mentions electric circumcisers. And that's just, I don't think that's a thing. I hope it's not a thing. So yeah, I just thought that line was funny. So the etymology says this is from the Latin verb circum cadere, which is from the prefix circum plus caedere, which means to cut. So you are cutting around. That is what's happening. And then the related word is circumcision. This is a noun from the 12th century. Oh, we've been doing this for so long. Why? 1a, the act of circumcising, especially a Jewish rite performed on male infants as a sign of inclusion in the Jewish religious community. I still don't understand why. What purpose does that have? And also, why doesn't it happen to the women? Maybe if you're not doing it to the ladies, maybe don't do it to the men's. I don't know. It's just a thought. 1b, the condition of being circumcised. And number 2, it is capitalized. It is January 1st, which is observed as a festival in some churches in commemoration of the circumcision of Jesus. I don't think we talk about the circumcision of Jesus enough. Also, if he was circumcised, it wouldn't have happened on January 1st because I think he was born in the summer or something if he existed in the first place. So maybe we should move circumcision to another day. Maybe today, July 15th. I don't know. All right. Have we talked about circumcisions enough? Yes, I think we have. Let's move on to circumference. This is a noun from the 14th century. 1, the perimeter of a circle. 2, the external boundary or surface of a figure or object. And the synonym is periphery. Oh, what is the formula to figure out the circumference of a circle? Is it, let's see, I think the area is pi r squared, and so I think the circumference is 2 pi r? No, I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, there's no squared because that would be area. It could be 2 pi r. I don't know. I used to have that stuff memorized. Where were we? Circumference. We read all that. What? How do you say this word? Circumferential. There we go. Circumferential is an adjective. That is a weird word. Circumferential. Is there any particular etymology we want to say? Oh, it's from the verb circumfere, which means to carry around. Yeah, from circum plus fere, which means to carry. So, I'm just carrying this thing around. You're making a circumference around the circle. I'm walking around a circle carrying a bucket. Okay, next is circumflex. That's an F-L-E-X at the end. First form adjective from circa 1577. 1. Characterized by the pitch, quantity, or quality indicated by a circumflex. And then number 2, marked with a circumflex. What is a circumflex? I can tell you it is Latin from the verb circumflectere. Yes, that is a word. Circumflectere. That means to bend around or mark with a circumflex. Maybe the second form of circumflex will give us more information. It is a noun from 1609. Okay. It is a mark, and then it shows 3 different characters on your keyboard. The 2 of them, okay, they're very, very tiny, and I am getting very, very old, and it is a little hard to see them. But the first one looks like that little carrot, that little hat. I think it's down by the question mark, maybe. It's pointing up. Then the second mark looks very similar, but instead of a point, it looks like it's curved. So it's like a little arc. And then the third one, I believe that is the tilde or the ñ symbol. That's, in Spanish, it's on some of the N's. That is in the top left of the keyboard. So it's talking about those 3 marks. A mark originally used in Greek over long vowels to indicate a rising falling tone. A rising falling tone, and in other languages to mark length, contraction, or a particular vowel quality. So I know the third one, obviously, I mentioned it. I mentioned that it sometimes is on N's in Spanish or other languages similar to Spanish. I know I've seen the other 2, but they must be much less common, especially in English. Maybe they're more common in other ones. But yeah, I think the little symbols mean, is your voice raising or lowering the tone a little bit? That is a circumflex. Interesting. All right, next we have circumfluent. Circumfluent, adjective from 1577. Flowing round or surrounding in the manner of a fluid. Circumfluous is an adjective. This is from the verb circumfluere, which means to flow around. Next is circumfuse, verb from 1605. We have the number 1 definition for the word surround. Circumfusion is a noun. The etymology says it is from the Latin verb circumfundere, and that means to pour around. Pour around. All right. Next is circumjacent. It's like adjacent, but it's circumjacent. Noun from the 15th century, lying adjacent on all sides. So usually things that are adjacent, I think they're next to each other. But if something is circumjacent, it's next to the thing all around it. And then the synonym is surrounding. And that's like the first one that we had, circumambient. Ooh, you think that the etymology is going to be similar? It's going to be some other Latin verb? Hey, you would be correct. It is from circumjacere or jacere, and that means to lie around. Just lying around. I'm just circumjacent. Next is circumlocution. Noun from the 15th century. 1. The use of an unnecessarily large number of words to express an idea. You were very locucious. I think that would be the word. You use a lot of words. Sometimes I am locucious. If you have too many words that you don't need, you are circumlocution. Yes, you got to keep it simple. Didn't I just say that recently? Keep it simple, stupid. And then number 2, evasion in speech. What does that mean? Evasion in speech? It means you have evaded somebody while speaking to them somehow? So, circumlocutory. I don't know how to say that word. Circumlocutory. That is an adjective. This is from the Latin circumlocutio, which is from circum and locutio, which means speech. That's from loqui, which means to speak. And then our last word is circumlunar. Circumlunar. It's the moon, lunar, adjective from circa 1909, revolving about or surrounding the moon, as in a circumlunar orbit. So if there's a satellite going around the moon, it is in a circumlunar orbit. So the words were circumambient, circumambulate, circumcenter, circumcircle, circumcise, circumcision, circumference, circumflex, circumfluent, that would be circumfluent, circumfuse, circumjacent, circumlocution, and circumlunar. Why are they so hard to say? I am not really sure how to pick one of these. Let's see. Walking around. Basically, you just look at the second part of the word to figure out what it's about. I was very interested by these circumflexes. What would be the plural of that one? So it doesn't say. Let's say fluent, if flying around the view next to. I don't know. We'll pick circumambient. I feel like there should be some ambient music. Circumambient. I think now is a good time to read the holidays. It's World Youth Skills Day. So youths, you got to get some skills. It is National Secretary Day in Mexico. In the Kanto region of Japan, it is Bon Festival. It's the earliest day in which the birthday of Don Luis Munoz Rivera can fall. Also the earliest day on Gala Bayrami. That's Turkmenistan. Oh, by the way, the birthday is in Puerto Rico. It's also the earliest day Marine Day for Japan, and the earliest day for President's Day in Botswana. In Kiribati, it is Elderly Men Day. In Salerno, Sicily, it is the festival of Santa Rosalia. And in Brunei Darussalam, it is the Sultan's birthday. Happy birthday, Sultan. All right, what are the fun holidays for today? It is National Pet Fire Safety Day, and it shows a picture of a bulldog in a fire person's outfit. I'm not sure that that's what they mean. Well, you got to be safe with fire in general, but also for your pets, because you don't want them to get hurt. It's National Gummy Worm Day. It's National Clean Beauty Day. And also National Give Something Away Day. Yeah, I think we all have too much stuff, so just give some of that stuff to somebody else who might need it, or want it, or actually read it, or do something with it. I'm telling you, but I'm also telling me. All right, we're going to end the episode. Thank you very much for listening to me. We have essentially finished page 224. What do I say at the end? I don't remember. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Yeah, this is the podcast where I say all the stuff. I am recording this on June 19th, Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. And at the time that I recorded the episode that aired today, there was no federal holiday for Juneteenth. And then 2 days ago, What do you know? They made it a federal holiday. So that's good. There's still a ton of work to do. This is a stepping stone. This is a starting point. There are still states that are, making laws to restrict voter rights and other crazy, crazy, stupid things. So, it's a step in the right direction, but we cannot stop here. I actually wanted to record a little thing like this to add into the episode today, but I did not get a chance, so I'm going to put a little bit stuff in the show notes. If you don't look at the show notes, sometimes I put a little bit more information in there. I don't do it all the time, but I'm going to try and do it more often. So hey, go check out the show notes. What will I put in today's show notes? Nobody knows. I will find out myself within the next week, before the episode airs. All right, so let us read the very end of page 224, and then we are starting page 225. The first word is circumnavigate. 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 We're gonna circumnavigate the world together. We're gonna get in a hot air balloon and circumnavigate the place. This is a verb from 1634. I believe it is just transitive. To go completely around, especially by water. And then, what are you going around? The example is the earth. And then also, to go around instead of through. And the synonym is bypass, as in circumnavigate a congested area. Circumnavigation is a noun, and circumnavigator is a noun. Every trip needs a navigator, and so you can be the circumnavigator. What is the etymology? It is from the Latin verb circumnavigare, or I think they would say circumnavigare, because the V's are W's. That means to sail around. From circum plus navigare, which is to navigate. Moving on to the next word, it is circumpolar, adjective from 1686. 1. Continually visible above the horizon, as in a circumpolar star. 2. Surrounding or found in the vicinity of a terrestrial pole, as in a circumpolar current, also as in a circumpolar species. Next is circumsisal or circumcisal. The last part is SCISSILE. Adjective from 1835. Dehissing by fissure around the capsule of the fruit. Dehissing. I feel like I've seen that word before, but I don't know what it means because I haven't gotten to it in the dictionary. DEHISCING. What does the etymology say? From the Latin verb circumscindere, which means to tear around, plus that verb scindere, which means to cut or split. And there's more at the word shed. So I'm guessing that this is something maybe when the fruit is growing, it breaks apart, or when you break apart a fruit, it's, I don't know, there's something about the fruit breaking, so that is a circumsisile or sisal. Next is circumscribe, verb from the 14th century. I believe it is just transitive. 1a, to construct the range or activity of definitely and clearly. To constrict the range or activity of definitely and clearly, as in, his role was carefully circumscribed. 1b, to define or mark off carefully, as in, a study of plant species in a circumscribed area. 2a, to draw a line around. You can, if you go circumnavigating, you can draw a line on the world as you are circumnavigating, and then you will have circumscribed the world. 2b, to surround by or as if by a boundary, as in fields circumscribed by tall trees. 3, to construct or be constructed around so as to touch as many points as possible. And the example of what is going around is a geometrical figure. And then the synonym is the word limit, L-I-M-I-T, limit. The etymology, I suspect it's very similar to the other ones that we've seen, from the Latin verb circumscribere, which is from circum plus scribere, which means to write or draw. And there's more at the word scribe. That is the one who does the writing. Next this is probably semi-related, circumscription. Noun from 1531. 1. The act of circumscribing. Also the state of being circumscribed. As 1a, synonyms are definition and delimitation, as in the circumscription of her duties. 1b, the synonym is limitation. 2, something that circumscribes. As 2a, the synonyms are limit and boundary. 2b, synonym is restriction, as in a circumscription of his power to act. It's the restriction of his power. And number 3, a circumscribed area or district. Next is circumspect. This is an adjective from the 15th century. Looks like there's just one definition. Careful to consider all circumstances and possible consequences. You are very circumspect if you are being careful about these things. The synonym is prudent, as in diplomacy required a circumspect response. Another synonym is the word cautious. Circumspection is a noun. Circumspectly is an adverb. And I'm just going to make this one up. Circumspector is a ghost that is being very circumspect. This is from the Latin circumspectus, from the verb circumspecere, which means to look around or be cautious. Plus from specere, which means to look, and there's more at the word spy. Next is circumstance. This is very long, and we'll have one more word after this. There might be a sneeze coming up. Let's see. This is a noun from the 13th century. 1a, a condition, fact, or event accompanying, conditioning, or determining another. An essential. It finally happened. And then, so the last part of that definition is an essential or inevitable concomitant, as in the weather. My eyes are watering because of this sneeze, and also I've only been up for like a half hour. Where were we? There we are. An essential or inevitable concomitant, as in the weather, is a circumstance to be taken into consideration. 1b, a subordinate or accessory fact or detail, as in cost is a minor circumstance in this case. What would be a major circumstance in this case? 1c, a piece of evidence that indicates the probability or improbability of an event, as a crime, as in the circumstance of the missing weapon told against him. Because it was missing, the circumstances around that made it clear that it was him. Also, as in, the circumstances suggest murder. 2a, the sum of essential and environmental factors. And those environmental factors could be an event or situation, as in constant and rapid change in economic circumstance. That's a quote from G.M. Trevelyan. How do you say that word? Trevelyan. Trevelyan. I'll just say that. The example again was constant and rapid change in economic circumstance. 2b, state of affairs. Synonym is eventuality, as in open rebellion was a rare circumstance. This is often used in the plural, as in a victim of circumstances. 2c is also plural. Situation with regard to wealth, as in he was in easy circumstances. Also as in rose from difficult circumstances. Well, good for them. They rose from difficult circumstances. They pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. They said, hey, I'm not going to be stuck in that situation. I'm going to go be in this situation. Number 3, attendant formalities and ceremonial, as in pride, pomp, and circumstances of glorious war. That is a quote from good old Shakespeare. It just says Shaq here. It's abbreviated Shaq. Number 4, I want to see a basketball game with Shaq and Shakespeare. Shaq v. Shaq. 4, an event that constitutes a detail. An event that constitutes a detail. And then the example of that detail would be as of a narrative or course of events, as in considering each circumstance in turn. And then finally, we have one more synonym. It is the word occurrence. The etymology says this is from the Latin verb circumstare, which means to stand around. Oh, I'm just hanging out, just standing around. I am circumstaring. I don't remember how to conjugate those verbs. I guess if you were saying I stand around, you'd say circumstaro. I think that's how that works. That is from the verb stare, which means to stand, and there's more of the word stand. And then our last word for this episode is circumstanced. circumstanced, adjective from circa 1611, a place in particular circumstances, especially in regard to property or income. Those were all the words. Circumnavigate, circumpolar, circumsisal, circumscribe, circumscription, circumspect, circumstance, and circumstanced. Let's choose circumnavigate as the word of the episode because I would like to go on a trip that circumnavigates the world. All together, all in one. Circumnavigate, circumnavigate. I already sang a song about circumnavigate. Today is World Snake Day. Go pet a snake. They're not as gross as they seem. They are very cool, actually. In Bolivia, it is National Peace Day. What else? It is Engineers Day in Honduras. In France, it is Holocaust Memorial Day. There's not a whole lot going on today. And the fun holidays, National Cherry Day. We just had some cherries. We haven't had cherries. I think I said in an episode, I need to go get some cherries. We got some cherries, and I ate the cherries, and the cherries are good. It's also National Corn Fritter Day. Let's have some corn fritters. It's also this other holiday that I am not familiar with, so let's read about it. It is Guru Purnima. It is a holiday dedicated to paying respect and expressing gratitude to one's spiritual and academic teachers, predominantly celebrated by Hindus and Buddhists in Nepal and India. There's a lot more, but that's very nice. Who were your spiritual teachers? You don't have to be Buddhist or Hindu, although it probably helps if you are. I think that's everything for today, July 16th. Thank you very much for listening to this episode and all the other episodes. If you're new, go start from the beginning. This is a journey we are taking together. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Podcast, dictionary, podcast. It's called the dictionary. The first word in this episode is circumstantial. circumstantial. Adjective from 1600. 1. Belonging to, consisting in, or dependent on circumstances, as in a circumstantial case, also as in circumstantial factors. 2. Pertinent, but not essential. Synonym is incidental. I guess that would be me. I'm pertinent, but I'm not essential. I don't know what that means. Number 3. Marked by careful attention to detail, also abounding in factual details, as in a circumstantial account of the fight. And number 4, the synonym is ceremonial. Circumstantiality. Circumstantiality is a noun, and circumstantially is an adverb. And we have some synonym information. Circumstantial, minute, particular, and detailed mean dealing with a matter fully and usually point by point. Circumstantial implies fullness of detail that fixes something described in time and space, as in a circumstantial account of our visit. Minute implies close and searching attention to the smallest details, as in a minute examination of a fossil. Particular implies a precise attention to every detail, as in a particular description of the scene of the crime. And detailed stresses abundance or completeness of detail, as in a detailed analysis of the event. Next is circumstantial evidence. 2 words, noun from 1736. evidence that tends to prove a fact by proving other events or circumstances which afford a basis for a reasonable inference of the occurrence of the fact at issue. I think there's probably a better way to describe that, but it's a thing in trials that comes up. Circumstantial evidence. Next is circumstantiate or circumstantiate. This is a transitive verb from circa 1652. To supply with circumstantial evidence or support. We are circumstantiating. Next is circumstellar. Stellar. Circumstellar. Adjective from 1951. Surrounding or occurring in the vicinity of a star, as in circumstellar dust. We are a circumstellar planet because we're around a star. Next is circumvallate, or circumvallate? Circumvallate, I think is how you'd say it. This is the first form. It is a transitive verb from circa 1798. To surround by or as if by a rampart. I think that would be related, yes, to a castle. The etymology says this is from the Latin verb circumvallare, or would it be circumvallare? That means to surround with siege. Siege works. To surround with siege works. And that is from circum plus vallum or wallum, which means a rampart. And there's more at the word wall, like a castle wall. So it's surrounding by or as if by a rampart. And then circumvallation is a noun. Does anybody use this word anymore? I don't think so. Now we have the second form of circumvallate or circumvallate, adjective from circa 1852, being any of approximately 12 large papillae near the back of the tongue, each of which is surrounded with a marginal sulcus and supplied with taste buds responsive especially to bitter flavors. What happened here? Circumvallate. What is there? There is no etymology to describe why this is called circumvallate. So it's some stuff at the back of your tongue. That's what that is. Next is circumvent. This is a verb, a transitive verb from 1539. 1a, to hem in. Circumvent. 1b, to make a circuit around. 2, to manage to get around, especially by ingenuity or stratagem, as in, the setup circumvented the red tape. That is a quote from Lynn McTaggart. The setup circumvented the red tape. We hate the red tape. Circumvention is a noun. It's like a convention about things that go around other things. Let's see, this is from the verb circumvenire, which is from, doesn't say what that means, but it is from the verb venire, which means to come, and there's more at the word come, C-O-M-E. Next is circumvolution. It's sort of like evolution, but their circum is at the beginning. Circumvolution. This is a noun from the 15th century, an act or instance of turning around an axis. Circumvolution. The etymology says this is from the Latin word circumvolvere. Circum, if we say the V sound, it would be circumvolvere, but I think they say circumvolvere, and that means to revolve. And that's from the verb volvere, which means to roll, and there's more at the word voluble. Voluble? All right. And, okay, next we have the word circus. C-I-R-C-U-S. We have no more circum words. We had a lot of those. Circus. It is a noun from the 14th century. 1a, a large arena enclosed by tiers of seats on 3 or all 4 sides and used especially for sports or spectacles. And then there's a lot of parentheses. So examples of those spectacles would be athletic contests, exhibitions of horsemanship, or in ancient times, chariot racing. 1b, a public spectacle. It is a circus. 2a, an arena often covered by a tent and used for variety shows, usually including feats of physical skill, wild animal acts, and performance by clowns. Luckily, to me and other people, there are a lot of circuses and countries around the world that are saying no more animals in circuses. Or would the plural be... Does it say what the plural is? It does not. I guess it would be circuses. Yeah, so, the animals are not usually treated very well. So we're trying to get animals to be not in circuses. Okay, where were we? We talked about that, and now we are on 2B. A circus performance is a circus. 2C, the physical plant, livestock, and personnel of such a circus. 2D, something suggestive of a circus. And though the example would be in frenzied activity, sensationalism, theatricality, or razzle-dazzle. Razzle-dazzle, as in a media circus. 3A is obsolete. The synonyms are circle and ring. And 3B is British. It is a usually circular area at an intersection of streets. Yeah, when you go over to London, they got Piccadilly Circus, and I think there's other ones, and it doesn't mean that there's a circus there. It just means it's a circular area or at an intersection of streets. I was always confused about that. Circusy is an adjective. Oh, that circle. It is so circusy. Does the etymology say anything? It is from the Latin circle. I think, would they say circle, and then also the Latin word... Oh, no. Well, I don't know. It's saying that it is the Latin word circus. I think that means circle or circus. Circus. I think I'm just going to start saying, hey, let's go to the circus to see the clowns. There's more at the word circle. Yeah, we talked about that a while ago. Anything else we have to say about that? I don't know. Next and last word for this episode is circus catch. 2 words. They're the normal words. Noun from 1893, a catch, as in baseball or football, requiring an extraordinary or spectacular effort. I've never heard this phrase before. Wow, that was such a circus catch. So the words today were circumstantial evidence, circumstantiate, circumstellar, circumvallate, circumvent, circumvolution, circus, and circus catch. What do I want to pick? I shall pick the word circus as the word of the episode. I'm not a big fan of the fact that animals are in the circuses, but the movie Dumbo played a big important part in my childhood, and not that I go to circuses, but it just struck me. It is a very sad movie, but it's kind of cute, but there's a lot of problems with that movie. Oh my God, so many problems. It's so old. But I don't know. It just has a special place in my heart for some reason. Also, for some reason, sometimes I get stuck in my head the circus song. That just hits me sometimes, and I can't not sing it. So that's my song for circus. Did I have something else to say about that? I don't remember. Yeah. I'm not. I don't know. The clowns. The people are scared of clowns. I think the physical feats of skill are interesting, but please don't support them, because unless there's no animals. If there's no animals, it's fine. Sorry, I'm getting too political. Maybe. Let's talk about the holidays. July 17th. It is Canada Parks Day. Hello, fellow parks. We'll skip those for the fun holiday section. In Yasaka Shrine, Kyoto, I think that's in Japan, it's Gion Matsuri. In South Korea, it is Constitution Day. In Slovakia, it is Independence Day. It is International Firgun Day. In Lesotho, it is King's Birthday. In Meghalaya, India, it is U Tirot Singh Day. Internationally, it is World Day for International Justice. Let's see. What other holidays do we have? Oh, we have a week starting. We have a couple of weeks. It is Hemp History Week. It's also National Moth Week. And we got to go to this, and we got to talk about the last few fun holidays. It is National Lottery Day. Maybe go buy a lottery ticket. It's National Tattoo Day. Maybe I'll go get a tattoo. No, I don't think I will. It is World Emoji Day. We all use emojis, so maybe don't use an emoji today. Also, it's Yellow Pig Day. What is Yellow Pig Day? It's a day to... Oh, God, what is this? It's a day to enjoy the wonders of mathematics, and particularly the special properties of the number 17. Whether you're a math rookie or a world-leading professor, we have all the mind-boggling facts and history of Yellow Pig Day right here along with... why? Now we have to read the rest of this. Something about the number 17 and the pigs, and I don't know. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually wearing a yellow shirt right now. That is it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Bonjour, word nerds. Welcome to this podcast. It's called The Dictionary. Every day, these things happen. The first word in this episode is ciré, or ciré. You have to emphasize the second syllable, ciré, ciré. It is spelled C-I-R-E. You could put an accent on that E. It's down on the left side and up on the right side. This is a noun from 1921. 1. A highly glazed finish for fabrics, usually achieved by applying wax to the fabric. 2. A fabric or garment with a ciré finish. And this is from the French verb cirer, which means to wax. From the Latin cera, and there's more at the word ceramin. And yeah, we learned that ceramin, that's the wax in your ear. So maybe you can put this wax stuff on the fabric and get the wax from your ear. It would take a long time to collect enough. Next is cirque, C-I-R-Q-U-E, noun from 1601. 1 is archaic, and the synonym is circus. 2, the synonyms are circle and circlet. I feel like I had something else to say about the word circus, and I just cannot remember what it was, but maybe I didn't. Number 3, a deep, steep-walled basin on a mountain, usually forming the blunt end of a valley. There is a picture of this third definition for the word cirque. So what? It looks like a mountain with a big section gouged out of it. How did it get gouged out? Was there a giant who had a big wood carving tool, granite, stone carving tool? How did this happen? Was it from a glacier? A deep, steep-walled basin on a mountain, usually forming the blunt end of a valley. All right, well, maybe we need to post a picture of one of these if we can find a good one. Okay, next is cirrhosis. C-I-R-R-H-O-S-I-S. Cirrhosis. Noun from circa 1847. Widespread disruption of normal liver structure by fibrosis and the formation of regenerative nodules that is caused by any of various chronic progressive conditions affecting the liver. And the examples of that would be long-term alcohol abuse or hepatitis. Cirrhotic is an adjective or a noun, and this is from the Greek kyros, which means orange-colored. It is akin to the Old English har, H-A-R, which means gray. Wonder why that is. And there's more at the word H-O-A-R. Would you pronounce that whore? H-O-A-R? Not sure. Yeah, this is a bad thing. You don't want to do this. You don't want to abuse the alcohol for a long time or get hepatitis, and you don't want cirrhosis of the liver. It's very bad. Next is a prefix. I guess it would be cirro, C-I-R-R-O. It means cirrus, C-I-R-R-U-S, as in the example cirrostratus. And now we are going to talk about these cirro words. Let's see. The first one is cirrocumulus, noun from circa 1803. And yes, we will get to the word cirrus, so we can understand more. We should read it first so we can have some basis of knowledge of what the words are, but that's not how they're ordered. We got to do these abecedarian. We have to do them alphabetically. So we're going to start with cirrocumulus. This is a high-altitude cloud form, consisting of small, white, rounded masses, usually in regular groupings. And then it says to see the cloud illustration. When are we going to get to the cloud illustration? It's not that far from now. Let's find out. Changing pages. That's not how you say that. You don't say change page. Okay. Let's see. Page 234, October. No, that's not October. August 24th. That is when you put that on your calendar. August 24th, we shall see the cloud illustration. All right, back to our regularly scheduled words. That is cirrocumulus. I love clouds. Couldn't tell you what the names are when I look at them, but they are very cool. Maybe I'll post a picture of that. Hey, here's another cloud. Cirrostratus. Noun from circa 1803. A fairly uniform, high, thin cloud layer, darker than cirrus, and often covering the entire sky. And again, it says to see the cloud illustration. And then here we go with the word cirrus, C-I-R-R-U-S, noun from 1708. Number 1, the synonym is tendril. Like a thing has lots of tendrils on it. What would that be? An octopus? No, those aren't tendrils. Number 2, a slender, usually flexible animal appendage or projection, as to an arm of a barnacle. I guess that would be a tendril. To B, a filament of a crinoid. To C, a fused group of cilia functioning like a limb on some protozoans. To D, the male copulatory organ of various invertebrate animals. Number 3, a high wispy white cloud, usually of minute ice crystals, formed at altitudes between about 20,000 and 40,000 feet, and that is about 6,000 and 12,000 meters, if you prefer the metric system, which we all should. That's pretty high. And then again, it says to see the cloud illustration. I don't think we're going to see the male copulatory organ or the barnacles or any of those things in the cloud illustration. Let's see. This is from the Latin word, or it is a Latin word, which means curl. So maybe the cloud has some tendrils on it. Moving on to the word cis, C-I-S. We're going to see this in a few different formations. This is an adjective from 1888, characterized by having certain atoms or groups of atoms on the same side of the longitudinal axis of a double bond or of the plane of a ring in a molecule. This is a Latin word, and it literally means on this side. Not that side, it's on this side. And now we have cis, again, all caps, abbreviation for Commonwealth of Independent States. Now we have a prefix, cis, which is probably going to be a prefix for most of the rest of the words in this episode. Number 1, on this side. Hey, look at that. That's what it means again. As in, the example, cislunar. Like the moon? The moon is on this side, not that side? I don't know. Also as in, cisatlantic. We are going to see both of those coming up. Cislunar and cisatlantic. And then number 2 is usually in italics. It just means cis, which I guess would be the first one, the ones with the atoms or the groups of atoms, as in the example, cis-dichloroethylene. And then that says compare to the 2B definition for the prefix trans, T-R-A-N-S, which is interesting. Okay. Also, so this is also Latin, and it means there's more at the word he, H-E. This is so interesting because it seems like we're getting into gender stuff here, but it's talking about atoms on the same side of the longitudinal axis of a double bond, like that. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we'll learn more, but that's yeah. Maybe this book is too old to have the you know, when you say I'm a cis male, I'm a cis female, whatever it is, like that's in the world of all these new gender words that we have. Maybe it's so new that it's not in this book. I don't know. That just seems odd to me. But clearly there's something there. I just don't know what the connection is with the the atom word. Anyway, we're going to move on to cisalpine. By the way, if you have any knowledge of the etymology of that word cis, please let me know. Cisalpine, adjective from 1542, situated on the south side of the Alps. As in the example, cisalpine Gaul. Gaul is Gaul, and both of those words are capitalized, the C and the G. And then it says to compare to the word transalpine. So it's all on the same side, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess if I sat and thought about it, I could figure out what that means, but we're going to move on. 2, cisatlantic. Sorry, my brain is doing things, and I'm not explaining everything that's going on in my brain. You just have to ignore it or try and follow. Cisatlantic, adjective from 1785, of, relating to, or characteristic of the side of the Atlantic Ocean regarded as the near side. Well, it depends on where you are at what is the near side. If you're on the east coast of America, then the west side of the Atlantic Ocean is the near side. It's the cisatlantic. But if you're in Africa or Europe, then the east side of the Atlantic Ocean is the cisatlantic. It's all relative. Okay, next is Cisco. Noun from 1848. Any of various white fishes. That's the end of that sentence. The genus name is Coregonus. And then especially the synonym lake herring. Okay, next is cislunar. It's like the moon. Adjective from circa 1877. Line between the Earth and the moon, or the moon's orbit. Line between the Earth and the moon. So would like a satellite that's between the Earth and the moon be cislunar? I don't know. As in cislunar space. All the space in between the moon and the Earth is cislunar. Next is cisplatin. Platin. Cisplatin. Noun from 1977. A platinum containing antineoplastic drug, Cl2H6N2-PT, used especially in the treatment of testicular and ovarian tumors and advanced bladder cancer. And this is from cis plus platinum. Or did you say platinum? Oh, here we go with cisplatinum. There's a hyphen in between them. It's a noun from 1977, and the synonym is just cisplatin. And then our last word, I think it should probably say sometimes disparaging or something like that. It is the word cissy with a C. It is the British variation of the word sissy with an S. And, it's back in the day, people would say this, and it was sort of accepted, but really not anymore. It's not a very nice word. So don't use it. Okay, so the words today were cirrhoe, cirque, cirrhosis, cirro, cirrocumulus, cirrostratus, cirrus, cisalpine, cisatlantic, cisco, cislunar, cisplatin, cisplatinum, and cissy. I shall pick the word cirrus as the word of the episode because it has a lot of definitions, and I like clouds. I like clouds, and they can be cirrus, and there are cirrocumulus clouds and cirrostratus clouds and lots of other clouds. I don't know, we're going to talk about clouds. All right, let's talk about the holidays. It is Nelson Mandela International Day. Tisha B'Av starts. In the Muslim observance, it is the first day of Hajj, or Hajj. What else? Hot Coal Chicken Day in Peru. Maybe they cook chicken on hot coals. In Uruguay, it is Constitution Day of Uruguay. In Canada, it is Ice Cream Day, also here in the States and probably other places. There's no other holidays on this page. What other fun holidays do we have? World Listening Day. Take a moment to listen to the sounds around you. Also, if you're in a conversation with somebody, listen to them. This is all every day. Why don't people listen as much? A lot of people just want to talk, and they want to get their stuff out there. But maybe they should take a step back and actually listen to other people. I don't like it when people don't listen. It is a day of Arafah, and it is National Caviar Day. Never had that. Never gonna have that. All right. I think that is a fine place to end this episode. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.